Welcome to Before Floor, the pregame edition of Five on the Floor, brought to you by the Five Reasons Sports Network. I'm your host, Jonathan, aka Three Piece Combo. Today, we're joined by two members of the Five on the Floor podcast, Mr. Greg Sylvander and Mr. Ethan J. Skolnick. And as always, we're joined by Mr. Mateo Mayorga, the brains here on the pregame show. Now, if you guys are home, make sure you guys like the video. And if you're a Miami sports fan, make sure you guys subscribe as well for all your Heat coverage and all South Florida sports. We'll take care of you right here on the Five Reasons Sports Network. Now, if you guys are young with a family, you want to make sure all your assets are protected. Make sure you hit up Mark Brown PA, right? Like you see on the screen, it's MARC Brown PA.com, or you can give him a call, 954-248-4068. Why do you want to give him a call? If you have anything in your life that you want to make sure gets taken care of, if something happens to you, you want to make sure that stuff goes to the right place. Mr. Mark Brown is going to take care of all that. He gives you a free consultation as well. So if you're not sure what you got to take care of, just give him a call. He'll help you kind of walk you through that path. And on top of that, he's a Heat fan. So make sure you give your business to a Heat fan and not a Lakers or a Celtics or a 76ers fan. So like I said, give him a call, 954-248-4068, or give him a call or visit on his website at Mark Brown. That's MARC BrownPA.com. Now, every single day, if you guys are a follower of the Before Four pregame show, we do our prize picks every single game, and we pretty much hit on at least 4 out of 5 of them. So if you play the flex play with us, most guaranteed almost every day. I can't use the word guarantee, I don't think, but most times we'll get you your money at least back on the prize play. So go to prizepicks.com to maximize your money. You're going to use the promo code 5, spell that out, FIVE. We'll match your deposit up to $100. It's the best way to play daily fantasy. You don't have to worry about somebody you're drafting getting hurt. You just play for the day, you win your money, and you go home from there. So like I said, go to prizepicks.com, use the promo code 5, and we'll double your deposit up to $100. Gentlemen, we're playing a team that unfortunately beat us last time out when they really shouldn't have, but we're going up with a kind of not necessarily different personnel, but Tyler Hero has been playing like an absolutely different person. So let's get right into that, Greg. Since you're joining us here last minute, let's talk about the differences, what Tyler Hero has been doing, right? In those two games, obviously it seems like he's outside of the game-winning shot on the first night of the back-to-back, getting away from that mid-range jumper and really just focusing on keying in on taking some more outside shots. So what differences have you seen in those last two games that have allowed him to have the shot profile and the success that he's had?
I think a lot of it has to do with the shots going in. I think it's hard for me to simplify it any further, but when the outside shot starts going and you start feeling yourself a little bit, that allows him to open up other parts of his game that you don't expect. I feel like he's not only just been scoring in different ways, but playmaking has been a big part of what Tyler Hero has done a lot better recently. So I'm excited to see what he does tonight. I think that this is an interesting game. San Antonio really, they took it to Miami last time. I think 6 guys were in double figures. That was not a pretty game for Miami. So I'm interested to see with a full cast of characters, almost a full cast. I guess no Kyle, no Gabe. But again, that opens up more for Tyler to do what he's been doing recently. I'm looking for him to continue that on tonight, no doubt.
Mute.
There we go. Yeah, let's continue that. Sorry. So let's continue with the Spurs. The last time out, Mateo, they were able to beat us, and they were able to make a comeback after we were able to build a big lead. So what changes do you want to see tonight for us to handle business against the Spurs in a Mexico City game that's kind of a little bit more, not neutral, but obviously it's just not a home game for the Spurs right away?
Well, Jonathan, the biggest problem for Miami against the Spurs was that they defended very poorly for 2 quarters. In the second quarter, Miami gave up 34 points on over 64% shooting. That won't get it done against anybody. And in the final period, the Spurs made 14 out of 16 free throws. Miami couldn't defend without fouling. They couldn't stop them at the point of attack. And as a result, their backline defenders were out of position. And that was a big reason why Miami got killed on the glass. What needs to change tonight is their defensive communication. Whenever the Spurs are setting screens up tops, Miami needs to do a better job of getting to the middle to prevent driving lanes into the lane. Another thing that needs to change is preventing Devin Vassell and Keldon Johnson from getting into the lane so easily. That was a problem. Like Greg mentioned a moment ago, I think they had 6 players in double figures. That cannot happen again, especially when they have an opportunity to play in neutral territory. They are not playing in their building, and this is not at home. So the Heat usually respond well in neutral territory. The last time I think they had it was in the bubble, and they played favorably.
So let's get into some of the other guys, because I mean, I'm pretty sure we've got the pettiest injury report of all time by the Miami Heat. So I don't know exactly who's playing and who isn't, but you did mention the not having, Gabe Vincent in the backcourt and opening stuff for Tyler, but it's also going to open some more for Victor Oladipo. So Ethan, I want you to talk to me about what he's going to give us. And on top of that, I want you to talk a little bit about what we got from Orlando Robinson, because although it's really raw and obviously we've got Dwayne Dedmon as that spot keyed in right now, I liked what I saw from him last game. So what do you expect to see from those two guys tonight?
Well, first thing is, again, we got to go through who's playing, right? So I to see where the minutes are going to come from. No Lowry, no Vincent. So they're both out. So two playmakers are out. I'm projecting the starting lineup. We'll see. I don't think it's out yet, is it? I'm projecting it would be Bam. I think Highsmith at the 4. It could be Jovic, but my guess is Highsmith. Butler at the 3. Strus and Hero in the backcourt, I think. And if that's the case, then Oladipo becomes your 6th man. And so, he's going to get a lot of the minutes, particularly handling the ball. I would anticipate that Orlando Robinson would get the minutes over Jovic off the bench. That's why I think Haywood Highsmith starts in this game. So I think those two guys, then I think probably some Duncan Robinson minutes off the bench. I think that's probably the core of the bench today will be Orlando Robinson, Oladipo, and Duncan Robinson. I think that's the direction they go. I mean, as far as Depot goes, I mean, he's going to get more on-ball reps. So you want to see how that looks. I think the defense has looked really good. I don't want him forcing shots. That's been one of the issues of the last couple of games that's come back a little bit. There will be minutes with Jimmy, though, because I wouldn't be surprised at all if Depot closes today if the game is close. You're hoping if you're a Heat fan it's not. It shouldn't be. But as Mateo said, they let the Spurs get whatever the hell they wanted in the last game. So if that happens again, then this game will be tight down the stretch, and you probably will see Depot play closing minutes, out there as a defender, maybe in place of Strus. So they also could go small and play Jimmy at the 4 down the stretch of the game, take Highsmith out, and play Depot, Strus, and Hero together. That's probably the more likely scenario. So these games should not be close. I mean, I'm going to keep coming to this. We did a big episode about how the Heat have kind of gotten themselves situated again at 15-15. They've won 3 in a row. They've beaten 3 teams they should beat. This is a 4th team they should beat. I mean, I'm not going to throw a parade for a 4-0 road trip on this. This should be a 4-0 road trip. If you're the team you think you are, even if you have guys out, these are 4 games that were very winnable. The Indiana game maybe looked the most challenging of the 4 to begin with, but they've gotten that one. They got OKC. They got the last one, and now they need to get this one. And that's just now they got the Houston one. They got to get this one. So I anticipate a better effort tonight, but I think Depot will be a big part of it because they don't have a lot of ball handlers. I mean, it's going to be basically Jimmy and Tyler tonight.
So let's get into the ball handling aspect of it, Mateo, right? Because Jimmy Butler is right now sitting at 6.5 assists. Obviously, the playmaking aspect, he's going to be doing a lot more of in this game, but 6.5 is still a quite high number. Are you feeling over on that, or are you feeling under on that for Jimmy Butler?
I'm going to go with the under. And sometimes making the right plays, scoring yourself. I think Jimmy's going to have a big night in the scoring department. I think the second leading scorer will probably be Tyler, but I don't think he's going to be used as the primary decision maker in that regard early on. I think it'll probably be Tyler before he starts cooking.
So let's get into Tyler Hero. That's a good transition there. They raised him from 20.5 to 21.5. Greg, how are you feeling on that one?
Oh, go over all day. San Antonio gives up 120 points a game as a team on average. That means like on an average night they give up 120. What happens on the below average defensive nights? So to me, I think that we should see a lot of guys cook tonight. Tyler Hero being one of the leading guys, go over there for sure.
So this is an interesting one, Ethan. I'm going to challenge you a little bit. They have the NBA 1/2 prop. So we're at Bam Adebayo for points, rebounds, and assists. He's at 16.5 for the first half.
Okay.
Points, rebounds, and assists total. Are you going over on that, or are you going under?
Well, aggressive Bam early is usually a good thing. So you're talking there, what do we say? 9, 5, and 3 would get it done. 10, 5, and 2 would get it done. I think it's fairly safe. I mean, to me, my favorite prop is the Jimmy 19.5 points prop tonight. I just think they lowered him because I guess there was some questions if he was going to play, but I understand Tyler being a 21.5. So before a couple of games ago, we saw it. The Jimmy, Bam, and Tyler were all 20.5. Again, use that code 5. Now they've raised Tyler and they've taken those 2 points from the other 2 guys. So I'm going to play the other 2 guys now. I'm going to play Jimmy. And I can tell you, because on Prize Picks, since there is a Dolphin game tonight, and we got a lot of viewers that cross over tonight, I'm going to give you a bonus here, okay? Because we got Prize Picks. We did a show. Eversol Friedman and I did a show already. Thank you, Justin Jefferson, for hitting. I don't know what the hell Kirk Cousins was doing in the first half, although he's got to go into the second half. There's a prop right now. If you listen, you get this right away. If you get Nick Chubb, Cleveland running back, facing Baltimore, they lowered him from 73.5 rushing yards to 53.5. Throw that one in with the Jimmy. Okay, here's how I'm going to tell you to do here. Throw that one in with the Jimmy. And I love this prop. David Eversole gave us this. Devin Singletary is at 1.5 catches tonight against the Dolphins. He had 7 catches down here. Josh Allen's going to dump the ball off all night. Okay, so I would go with that. And Josh Allen over 46.5 rushing yards. Throw all those together, anchor it with the Jimmy 19.5. You'll be rich later on tonight. That's what I'm telling you. Use the code 5.
Make sure you use that code and spell it out. It's not the number. Use that code. Spell it out. FIVE.
Yes.
So let's get into predictions, Greg. I'll let you kick it off tonight. How are you feeling about tonight? And give me a key to tonight's game as well.
Oh, gosh. Key to tonight's game. They got to protect the boards. They got killed on the boards by San Antonio the last time they played. That's the stat I'll be watching. But, my prediction, the Heat are going to win. I think they're 8.5-point favorites last time I checked. I expect them to cover. This is a game that will put a nice punctuation to this road trip. So I'm not going against the Heat.
Mateo, how are you feeling about this one?
Gentlemen, I think the Heat finally get revenge for the loss of the 2014 finals. But no, seriously.
This is the revenge?
Yes.
This is the revenge. They've been waiting all this time to beat Devin Vassell. There you go.
They have. All right. So, my key to tonight's game is some heavy screening at the top of the key, because the point of attack defense for the San Antonio Spurs is very weak. If Bam is setting some good picks, the shots will be there for Tyler on the wings, and they'll also create driving lanes for Jimmy to get going to the lane. I think that's going to be something to watch for, and I think it's going to happen. So Heat win.
Ethan, close us out.
Yeah, I think this is a Heat win tonight. They're at 500. I would be stunned if they let down at this point. You come back from this road trip 4-0. Spo has enough tonight. We talk about having enough. He's got Bam, he's got Jimmy, he's got Tyler. Let's start there. Okay, I understand they don't have a true point guard. Jimmy and Bam and Tyler have handled the ball. They've got Depot. They've got enough ball handlers tonight to get by. Highsmith can give him a little bit of defense. Orlando Robinson give him a little bit of rebounding. I think Strus gets going tonight. I don't know. I just have this feeling that he gets going. I think they're going to make a concerted effort to do that. And look, I have covered a lot of Heat games in these kind of scenarios in these neutral sites. Mateo spoke to it. They tend to play well in this situation, going way back under Spoelstra. I don't know. I feel like every time I've covered one of these, they won. And so I do think, even though the game is in Mexico City, the Heat have more recognizable names. I feel like the crowd's going to get behind them, more behind, say, Jimmy and Tyler and Bam than they are behind Keldon Johnson. I just that's how I feel tonight. So I would say the Heat win. I think they win fairly comfortably today. Come back, and then look, they're 16-15, and everything is there for them. And I feel like they're gonna look at this trip as this was a good kind of starter trip for them to get back on track. I would be surprised if they finish it poorly. And they lost to the Spurs last time, so they'll have their attention this time. I think that helps.
For sure. I do want to give a shout out to Miami Heat UK TV, UK friendly 10 p.m. Let's go in Mexico. Appreciate you guys joining us. If you guys are still in the comments hanging out, all 66 of y'all, make sure you guys like the video. Make sure you guys subscribe. Make sure you guys don't miss any of the Miami Heat stuff. All the post-game interviews and stuff get posted on the channel, so make sure you guys subscribe. I think Miami is going to win as well. I did want to see Brian Young get stung by a velvet ant, because he said if we lost any of the last 4 games, we would have done that. But we did go 4-0. He believed in the squad, so not going to get to see that. But I do think Miami gets it done. I think this is one of the games where we, like Ethan said, we let them come back in a game we shouldn't have last time around. So this time I think we're more likely to handle business, really focusing on the crossing your I's and dotting your T's. And I don't think we see a heavy turnover game. I think Miami plays a lot more discipline than we're used to seeing them as far as this whole season so far. So like I said, make sure you guys, as always, like the video, subscribe. Make sure you guys hit up Mark Brown, PA. Go visit his website. He'll give you a free consultation. marcbrownpa.com or give him a call, 954.
Wait, Jonathan, I'm not letting you close. Well, give me the photo. I'm not letting you close. You got an MMA pick for tonight?
We got a couple of MMA picks
tonight.
tonight.
All right. I mean, you got to give the people what they want here. We got the World Cup picks for tomorrow from Austin, but everybody, it's you on the MMA and Fonseca on the boxing around here. So
okay, so Arman
Take
Sukarian.
the Dolphins on the money line.
We got Arman Sukarian fighting in the co-main event for tonight's UFC. He's at 45 and a half significant strikes. That man can strike with the best of them and wrestle with the best of them. So if he gets on top of his opponent, he's going to be able to do that. On top of that, he has a really good chin, really good defensively. I think he's going over on that. Sean Strickland's at 107.5 on his significant strikes. That's based over a 5-round fight. I do think that Jared Cannonier is going to put him out sooner than 5 rounds. So I don't think he hits those. So for the co-main event and for the main event for tonight's fight, make sure you go under on Sean Strickland at 107.5 strikes. You go over on Arman Sukarian at 45 and a half.
No idea what you just said, but whatever he just said, play it. Whatever he just said, play it. Thanks, Jonathan. Appreciate it. Use that code 5, though.
Use that code 5, spell it out, and Alejandro is going to take you away to the player.
Dolphins pregame coming up at 6 o'clock tonight. Dolphins pregame, Heat postgame coming up at about 7:15. Dolphins postgame coming up at about 11:30, or if it just snows all night, could be 3 in the morning. Who knows? But we got lots of content for you here on the channel.
Take it away, Alejandro.
Okay. Any more of these? And in Mexican currency, it'll be a 1.5-point win, so I'll take that. Is this just a collective thing that no matter who is there, because all you've been through and everyone has played almost every role on this team, that they just find a way?
This is what you hope are that your experiences, during a long NBA season, harden you and steel you and help you develop some grit. And the start of this trip, we've had 3 very competitive games that have gone all the way down to the final few possessions, and different circumstances each game, different guys in or out. But I commend the guys for not making excuses at all for any of it. And we're just trying to get more consistent to our identity. We understand what our roadmap is for success. We just have to get to that more often. And it's been inspiring on this road trip to see different guys step up. Tonight, Orlando really just coming in off the airplane, and playing 36 minutes basically, and gave us a great presence under the rim. On both sides. He was guarding the basket and going vertical and making them take some tough shots. I thought he rebounded well in traffic. And he gave us a presence offensively with his screening. UD just gave us that tenacity and that toughness just from the very get-go. Everybody understood how important this game was for us. And I think UD had a large part in that. Just with his intensity that was almost spilling over the edge. But it's inspiring, when you're witnessing it. And then obviously Tyler was fantastic again with his shot making and just got into such a great rhythm. Guys were setting great screens for him, and he was stepping up into open shots, lining them up, and that just really allowed us to create a bunch of separation through the first 3 quarters.
Last night, 17 3-point attempts, 15 3-point attempts tonight. Is that just what the defense is giving them, or that's something you guys are trying to push them to take more of those?
Both are correct. The last couple games, that's been really the scheme against him, and that's been open. But regardless, he's too good of a shooter for us, for him to not hunt out open threes off the catch. Now, tonight he had a few off the dribble, but last night he had more of them off the catch. And I think when we're fully healthy, he has to continue to be assertive in those opportunities. And he's just a brilliant shooter. He can do it off the dribble and off the catch. And that type of versatility is going to be important for us going forward when we do get our full health back.
Jimmy coming in and across the board. I know there might have been some glitches late, but just, I mean, he filled all the columns. He helped settle you a little also. His presence, the difference tonight.
Yeah, that's the way I would describe it. He settles you. Especially when the game can get a little bit fast or a little bit more in their favor. There's a comfort level with all of our guys, and in particular the young guys. Like when you have these moving parts, it's always great to have a pillar where you can go to, where you know he's going to make the right decisions, where the game can slow down a little bit, where he can set things up and manipulate the defense to be able to get the right shot for us. And that's what he did throughout the course of the game. And then, obviously he just continues to be, one of the very best two-way players in this association, taking on the challenge the entire night of how many ever minutes he played. It was either on Green or Porter the entire way. And he has the endurance and toughness and savviness to be able to do it because both those guys are really clever, for young guys. And it's extremely helpful to have somebody with the veteran experience like Jimmy, and also the willingness to take on that challenge, which is really important.
You don't score in the last 5 minutes. You have to win it on defense, and you have to win it on defense without some of your best defenders. Bam's not playing. Caleb got hurt. He had to come out. Why does it say that whoever you threw out on the floor, you found a way without scoring to win the game on that end?
Well, what it signifies to me is hopefully we're buying into this identity. We have to win games, defensively. I feel that our offense is going to get a lot better, particularly in the second half of the season. But our foundation and our bread and butter has to be on the defensive side of the floor, committing to all the tough things. And I just like seeing it again, us putting our body in front of drives, trying to take hits, and then the ball hitting the floor and us being first to the floor a lot more often than we were in the first few weeks of the season.
Max, again, the threes didn't really fall, but what did you like about the way he still found a way to make an impact? 4 rebounds, 5 assists.
Yeah, on the back line of our defense, particularly the zone, he gives us a little bit more physicality in rebounding. He's a good block-out guy. Those are a lot of the nuances that, the most fans won't necessarily notice, but he does those little things, for our defense that are helpful. He's always going to help space the floor for Tyler and Jimmy and Bam. He was able to do that tonight, but he knocked down a big one. When we felt like we really needed a bucket, he knocked one down. And he's the great thing about Max is even if he misses some, he's not going to stop, taking his shot. Okay. Thank you. All righty.
More than not now, and I guess that's a part of learning in these moments.
It's good. If I stop turning the ball over, make some shots, make some free throws, I don't think it'll be like that. But a win is a win. I'll take it, but, man, I got to be better. I was terrible.
Some of the good things that you did, of course, were all the deflections, the steals, the blocks. Orlando picked up on some of that and helped out as well. And a game this tight, I imagine that stuff's critical.
No, yeah. I always say that we have to let our defense dictate our offense. We did a good job of that tonight. Played some zone, played some man, switch, blitz. We did a lot of things that we work on, and we executed it. So I'm happy for our guys to stay in the game no matter what. And it just shows what we're capable of, winning another one on the road with guys that can really play, can really score the ball. This young Rockets team, I'm proud of my guys.
Usually, when you guys go on the road for an NBA international game, it becomes sort of a big deal, bigger than just the team in the game. But with you guys, you can get over 500, you can avenge the loss of San Antonio, and you can set things right going back home for your Christmas stand. How important does that just make what is just one regular season game?
I mean, we take them as we can get them. Home, away, Mexico City. We'll take it, I don't feel like the NBA rock with the Miami Heat too much anyway, so at least we get to go play somewhere. We don't got no TV games or nothing, so we'll be all right.
How special is it to get an international game like that? I mean, neutral court, a lot of exciting fans, sort of show off the product a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's a blessing to be able to play basketball every day anyways, but for sure, I think guys are going to be able to see the culture and how basketball is loved everywhere around the world. I'm trying to go play some football, though. I'm trying to kick the ball around. I ain't even stunt.
Jimmy, what did you see from that young Rockets team tonight?
Oh, man, they play well, and they're going to be good really, really soon. They can score the ball. They get out in transition, hella athletic, and they're out there having fun. More than anything, you got to have fun. Sooner or later, these fun, playing young guys, they're going to turn that into dubs. And then winning is everything, so then they're really going to be having fun.
You just finished talking about, what you see for this team for the future, but as of right now, how is it going up against such a young team, even though when they get down by double digits, they still have that will and that effort to fight back?
I mean, that's the league for you. Don't nobody go out there just trying to lose, honestly. Like, if you can win, you're going to win. You want everybody to know that you're amongst the best players in the league. That's what, those young guys are trying to prove, and they do that on a nightly basis. I'm happy for them. I want them to continue to, stay healthy and have great success and have a long career. But when they play against us, I want them to lose every time.
Coach Tyler said tonight that there was really nothing that they could do against Tyler. They tried to, they trailed him, they tried to stay in front of him. He was just hot. When did you know that he had it going?
Tyler always like that, man, and he's going to shoot the ball no matter what. He's going to take the shots whenever he's open. He's going to get everybody else involved. And when he's making shots like that, the floor opens up for everybody. So we want him to keep doing that. I think he hit a lot of threes last game, hit them tonight. And hopefully he hit them in Ciudad de Mexico. I'm gone.
No, it feels good to get the win. On the second night back-to-back with a couple guys out, it's never easy. So get the dub and keep it moving.
The first one goes down. At what point do you realize, I'm still flowing, and everyone, please take notice?
Should I hit him with what KD say? When I woke up? When I woke up?
In all seriousness, it was needed today, even more so, the fact that you had so many guys out.
Yeah, no doubt. We had 2 starters out, and like I said, on the second night to back-to-back with our whole team, the game isn't easy. It's tough, flying and playing in a back-to-back. So to be able to win this one, get back to 500 with another game before we head back home is big for us.
I assume you're highly aware of your career high, but did you know about the 10 threes being the team record?
I didn't know until last night when I hit the 9 and they said I was 1 short. So I didn't have any intention with coming in to tie the record, but, just trying to get threes up. I think shooting more threes has helped me.
With how tough it had been on the road earlier in the year and circumstance of injury and all that's a part of that, what is clicking most right now that you've noticed with the way you guys played on the road for the most part lately?
Yeah, I think, the games have still been close and they can go either way. But I think right now we're covering for each other. I think we're getting that, unity that we had. Don't want to go back to last year, but last year when we had a bunch of guys covering for each other, making plays for one another and enjoying each other's success, and that's what we're doing right now. But coming out on this road trip, we knew how important it was, so we're just taking care of business.
I know they didn't go down, but how nice was it to get Udonis that first jumper to start off, you all's first set?
No, it was incredible. I thought it was going in. Actually the play wasn't even for him. He just broke it off and shot it. So I was like, all right, we'll start it that way. But, he's confident that he's a good shooter in that mid-range short corner area. So that's a good shot for him.
You've shown you can do it in the continental United States. Does your game export to Mexico? Will it clear customs?
I don't know. I've never been to Mexico, so we'll see what happens. We'll see. Hopefully the passport goes through and my arm stays hot.
You enjoy putting on a show, and that game in Mexico is a little bit of a spectacle also. Is it going to be kind of fun in that atmosphere? Neutral court, different country, hot streak you're on, and the team with a chance to get above 500 for the first time.
Yeah, that's the biggest part. We can get a game above 500 and then go home for a week and a half before we go out west. I think that'll be big for us if we can get to on Saturday, and then, like I said, go home and take care of business. But one game at a time, we just keep it rolling.
And even though I know guys are hurt, I know it's exhausting at the end of 4. The fact is you only have one game over the next 5 days after that game in Mexico. So might it be really more of sort of an all-in on everything then, get it by 500, and finally maybe the chance to exhale a little?
A little bit, but this whole trip was important for us. When we started, a week ago or 5 days ago, we wanted to come out on this trip and take care of business. Hopefully we can, go 4-0, but just one game at a time.
Yesterday you said you couldn't believe that you took 17 threes, and tonight you took 15. Is that something intentionally trying to do, or is that something just what the defense is giving you?
I think that's part of how the defense have been playing me. The last 2 teams really overhelp. We get in the paint, make sprays, and I was open on the arc.
You guys, in the end, are always going to need stops in this 20th clutch game. How important are those moments throughout where Jimmy's getting deflections and steals and blocks? Orlando got involved with a few of those as well.
No, Orlando played huge for us tonight. Houston loves crashing the glass. They'll send 4 or 5 guys at a time on most possessions. So, Orlando was big for us in the paint. And really everyone just flying around trying to, get rebounds and make the finishing plays. Appreciate it.
How many pesos is 41 points?